Oh, come on. Did you really think they were finished, bub? So on this show, I try and avoid talking about rumors, stuff that's unconfirmed. I try and confine most of my videos to stuff that has actually been confirmed by whoever's making it, or at least is being reported by a pretty reliable news source. So normally something that's like, oh, we're talking about maybe doing this, I wouldn't talk about, but in this case, I've got thoughts that I do want to get out there. So, and that is that James Mangold, director of Logan and the Wolverine, has said that he is currently having conversations about what a spin-off or sequel to Logan starring the character of Laura, aka X-23, might look like. Now, we don't have a lot of details from him about what they're talking about, but we do now know that conversations are happening. My initial thought on that? I am on board with that. I think she was a fantastic character. The actress, whose name I'm drawing a blank on, I'll put it right down here, but she was really, really good in that role. She had great energy. She had a great dynamic with every character that she interacted with. She sold the action scenes really well. She could be intense. She did a good job expressing the weight of what her character had been through, and yet there was that real spark of life and soul in her that made you want to see her succeed. So I think a spin-off movie starring her, centered around her, that, yes, I'm absolutely on board with that. However, after thinking about it for a few minutes, it did start to occur to me like, ooh, there might be a problem here. And not like an automatic problem, but reasons that sort of don't dial back my enthusiasm, but make me cautious, which is that as much as I would love to see an X-23 movie, it would also be effectively a Logan sequel. And Logan does not need a sequel. And I don't just mean that in terms of like, spoilers, he dies at the end of it. And you know, he can't come back and be in more. I mean that in the terms of what they absolutely should not do is be trying to recapture what Logan was. And that's often what you do with sequels. Because Logan, the more you think about it, is a kind of a fluke. It's a weird movie. It is a hard R, depressing, deliberately unsatisfying, excellently made film. And again, hard R, starring an actor and a character that has been in a PG-13 franchise for almost 20 years. That's nuts. And the fact that A, it happened, and B, it worked as well as it did, that is not the kind of success that you are going to be able to repeat, because it was under really specific circumstances. So the worst thing that could happen is they try and recapture that feel. And ways that they could do that would be like if they try and make the character of Laura more like Logan. Obviously they can't like age her up or to that extent. Well, I mean, I suppose they could get an older actress, but that would be really dumb. I don't think they would even consider that. But I mean, like, put her in a similar mentality as a character to how Logan was in that film. In terms of like being, you know, done with it and grizzled and beaten down. They could push her in that direction. And I think that would be a massive mistake on so many levels, because like I said, trying to recapture what Logan was, that's how you end up just spinning your wheels. Whereas I think there's a ton of potential in this character for her to actually move forward and do something new in this world. And her as a character, she was a deliberate contrast to Logan. She had a great sense of life about her. Logan as a character did not. That was a big part of their dynamic. So, and also, if she ends up like him in terms of how beaten down he was, then what was his sacrifice for at the end of his movie if she's just going to end up like that? So by honoring the original, they need to basically have her be, I don't want to go so far as to say a beacon of hope, but to be an active force, you know, for the things she believes in a way that Logan really wasn't in that film. So Something this is something I'd like to see anyway, but I would take this as a signifier that they are not going to do what I'm afraid they're going to do. And that would be, I want her in the costume, the X-23 costume. Couple reasons. First, I just think it would look cool. But secondly, it would show me that they're not trying to make her be Logan, because putting on that costume, which is a costume, it's obviously based off the original Wolverine costume, and it's one we've never seen in a movie at all. It got teased in a deleted scene on the Wolverine. He's never worn it. So it would be taking the character, it would be taking her as a character in a different direction, but also giving her a frankly slightly more comic bookish, more heroic feel. And I think that's the right way to go with the character. And I think it's an easily justified move as well, because I'm sure there's some people going, what, with how grounded Logan was, you're gonna put her in that costume? Yes, I'm gonna put her in that costume, because think about it. She was reading these comic books. They get established in the movie Logan. So there are comic books about the exploits of the X-Men, and they are comic booked up. They're not accurate, but they were what became her vision and those of other young mutants like her of what the X-Men were. The reality of it is almost irrelevant, because this is the myth and the legend of it. And Wolverine in that comic had the costume. So in terms of both trying to honor the sacrifice that she made for her, but also be the better version than the reality ever was, I could totally buy and would encourage that she would make and wear that costume. And again, it would be such an indication that they're not going to try and just do the depressing lightning in a bottle that was the first Logan again, that they are going to move things forward. And again, you don't have to like make the world like suddenly, bright and cheery and MCU Spider-Man Homecoming looking kind of thing. No, just do that with her. Keep the world the same sort of dirty, used up, slightly barren kind of Western desert town feel that it had in Logan, but you can still move the characters forward and not have them wallow in pain the way that Logan did. And none of these things that I'm saying are criticisms of Logan as a film. It absolutely worked in that film, but it's not going to work if they do it again. And I think it's basically a matter of whether or not Fox gets out of James Mangold's way. Now, James Mangold is not a perfect filmmaker. I'm not like, oh, he can't possibly mess this up. But the things that I'm afraid of are the sorts of things that the corporate mentality does, because at the studio level, at the executive level, they look at a success and go, oh, that's what worked. Repeat as many of those elements as we possibly can, and hopefully it'll work again. That's studio executive mentality, and that is what will kill an X-23 movie if it in fact ever gets made. So as long as they leave him alone and let him make his own movie and potentially make his own mistakes. As I said, the man's human, he's not a perfect filmmaker, but I think we're gonna be in much better hands if they just back off from this and let him do whatever he's gonna do. And as I said, I hope what he's gonna do would involve the costume. So those are my thoughts on X-23. Reasons to be excited, but also something to watch out for, which is often what I do. It can be hard for me to be totally positive, because there's a part of my brain that I can't stop from going, okay, yeah, that's good and all, but here's the ways it could go wrong. It's a thing that happens. I'm sorry. In any case, what are your thoughts on the possibility of an X-23 movie? Whatever they are, good, bad, excited, nervous, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check me out on Twitter at Council of Geeks. Give a listen to the Council of Geeks podcast, available on iTunes and Stitcher. I am also one half of the Punch Like a Girl podcast. That can be found on the Fire and Water Podcast Network, fireandwaterpodcast.com. And until next time, this council is adjourned.